Hello, and welcome back to a Wizard's Workshop. My name is Stacy Rowland, and today we're going to talk about breathing. Now, breathing is probably one of those things that most of us don't think that we need to focus on, but I'm going to tell you that it's a really good idea to focus on your breathing. Now, today I'm just going to share a simple technique, and there are many techniques on breathing, but today is just a simple technique called hara breathing. Now, the hara is a physiological location. It's not an organ, but it's the center of gravity within the human body. Now you find it easily by taking your pinky and your thumb, and you place your pinky on your pubic symphysis, the bone, right in the center of your pubis, and then your thumb right in your navel. And right in the center between the two is what we're going to call the hara. Now the hara, if you've ever taken a martial arts class or a Tai Chi class, you're familiar with, but in today's discussion we're just going to use it as a target for our imagination. And the reason I say this is because as we inhale, we're going to focus on an imaginary object, whether it's a glowing ball, a plumb bob, something that we can focus on moving into that hara, into that space in the pelvis. Now the reason we do this is to then utilize the imagination in bringing the diaphragm down into the abdominal cavity. Now the reason all this is important is because people don't breathe very well. I've been a massage therapist for 20 some odd years, and one of the major things I see is tension in the neck. Now, everybody's got a different reason for neck tension. It could be whiplash, it could be trauma, but often, if it's outside of that category, more than likely, it's because we're what we're going to call neck breathers. Now, what a neck breather is what I'm going to call a neck breather, is people who utilize the neck muscles to inhale and exhale. Well, you don't exhale through the neck, but you inhale with the neck muscles. Now, the neck is made for emergency breathing. If there's ever some sort of injury to the spine, let's say below C7, which is your cervical vertebrae, and we're paralyzed below that, then the neck muscles will engage in breathing just to keep us alive. Unfortunately, we've conditioned ourselves through a lack of knowledge, from the fact that we don't think about it, we're not taught this, that we're breathing right because we're breathing. Now, reasons why we want to breathe with the diaphragm instead of the neck. The lung has 5 chambers. The right side of the lung has 3 chambers. They're called lobes. The left side of the lung has 2, and it has 1 less because the heart moves into that space. And so those 5 chambers have different amounts of blood vessels that attach to them. Now the upper lobes of the lung have the least amount of vascular attachments. The lowest chambers of the lung, those lowest lobes, have the most amount of vascular attachments. So what that means for oxygen, when you breathe into the lung, the more of the lung that you fill with oxygen, the more oxygen you're going to get. The more you breathe into the lowest chamber of the lung, the more blood vessels are going to be able to uptake that oxygen into the system, and then utilize that oxygen to feed the cells and to regenerate the system. When we're talking about the neck, and again, neck breathing, neck tension is one of the biggest things that I've seen over the years. People get tension headaches, which of course is neck tension. If we're breathing from the neck by elevating the rib cage, just up here, we're breathing very shallow, then we're causing a lot of contraction in the neck. You contract a muscle repeatedly, it's going to become more tense, and then again we're going to get that neck tension. Another aspect of this, with neck tension, we're talking about reduced circulation of fluids through this area of the body. We're talking especially about blood. Blood, of course, is going to carry oxygen. The brain is a major feeder of that oxygen. And so if we have neck tension, we're going to reduce the amount of circulation that flows because the neck isn't relaxed. Going back to the amount of oxygen, the more oxygen we breathe in, the more oxygen is going to get to the brain. So one benefit is cognitive increase. The more oxygen we have in the brain, the better the brain functions, the more you're able to interact and relate and think and reason. And so a major benefit to life, us as a species. A second benefit is going to be, we talked about this a minute ago, is the amount of oxygen. The more oxygen you bring into the body, the more oxygen gets to the cells, the longer those cells are going to live, the healthier they're going to be. And now we're talking about health and perhaps even longevity. Now a third benefit is to the digestive system. The diaphragm itself is like a dome. And when the diaphragm is used to breathe, the diaphragm moves down into the abdominal cavity. And the abdomen expands outward. And so as we breathe in, the diaphragm descends and the abdomen expands, and the organs inside the abdominal cavity are going to shift and change position with each inhale and exhale. And so we inhale, and then we inhale, and then exhale, and everything shrinks into a different position. And so that massages the organs. It's going to increase peristalsis. Peristalsis is basically the body's ability to move digested material through the system. Now, increased digestion is beneficial, of course, for things like constipation, diarrhea, just general health. We're going to be able to move that matter through the digestive system in such a way that by moving the organs, we're going to be able to get more circulation to the organs. By more circulation going to the digestive tract, especially the large and the small intestine, then we're going to be able to uptake more nutrients. And again, now we're talking about health and potentially longevity. Now, the reason we get into this mindset of breathing, we don't do it. We don't focus on our breathing. We're externalized with our focus most of the time. Right now I'm looking at a camera, I'm talking to you, and if I'm not doing this, I'm probably on a monitor, looking at something else, watching videos, taking courses, and learning other things. Even being on Facebook and interacting with people through social media. It's all an external focus. Focused breathing internalizes everything. You become focused on yourself. Now, a lot of people might say, well, internalizing is a mental act. I'm telling you it's physical. Internalizing your mind in your body and being your body, instead of being your mind as a character, instead of being a personality, instead of being the someone who people interact with. We are just a body, because that is what you are. You are a body. Your character and your personality can change just like that. Your body is what you have from birth till death. And so this is what you are. And so focusing on your body is going to be beneficial to your body's ability to heal, recover, and again, bring you longevity and health, because you're going to be present inside. So how we do this? We talked about that glowing ball or that plumb bob, imagining something that we can wrap the mind around, wrap the imagination around. And as you inhale, focus on that object, focus on that imaginative thing, descending into the hara, into that spot above the pelvic bowl, bringing the diaphragm down, slowly bringing in more oxygen as we expand the abdomen. And then as we exhale, we can bring that object back up, squeeze and contract the abdomen, exhaling fully. Now, why we're going to exhale fully? The more you exhale, now I'm talking do it hard the first few times. Like that, you're probably going to cough. Now, the reason why is because we're loosening up and we're getting rid of some of those toxins that have sat in that lowest part of the lung, because if we're not breathing from there, then things just sort of linger. But as we exhale fully, we get rid of more of those toxins. And so, yes, cough, do it, get rid of it. And then inhale again, deeply. Now a slow inhale. I'm not going to tell you to count. Breathe for as long as you can, for as deep as you can. Don't worry about how long it takes. We're not going to get into like a 7-6-7 or a 6-5-6 inhale, exhale, holding sort of thing. I'm just going to have you take a deep breath in and then exhale fully. And it looks like this, and it's boring, and I apologize, but a long inhale. Followed by a full exhale. Now, if you're talking, you're not going to be able to do this. If you are stressed, this is the perfect time to do this. You don't have to close your eyes doing it. Your imagination can go wherever you want with your eyes wide open. The reason for the imagination is because it increases the body's ability to follow along. If you're just focused on muscular contraction and relaxation, then it becomes a little bit too much for the mind, and we get too focused on the body, and we cause muscular stress. And so the easiest thing to do is just to follow the imagination down into the pelvic bowl as we inhale, and then as we exhale, bringing that imagination back up, as we can even follow the breath out of the body. Now again, there are a lot of ways to breathe. There is a thing called a dragon breath, which is fast breathing, and we're not going to cover that in this segment, but this hara breath is a great way to reduce stress. Again, another benefit. There's a physiological response. It's called the post-exhalation relaxation response. Basically, when you exhale or sigh, vocalizing your breath, the body relaxes. A lot of times that happens naturally as we relax. But if you use your physiology and your neurology to actually do this on purpose, the response is the same. If you cause yourself to exhale fully with a sigh, your body will relax and you will feel it. Again, fantastic thing to do in moments of stress. People say take a deep breath. This is how you take a deep breath. And it will help with your cognitive function. It helps you think better, it helps you reason better. It's going to bring in more oxygen for your cells, which again, we're talking about health and potentially even longevity. Talk about digestive function. Again, increased nutrient intake, increased digestion, so we get rid of toxins, we get rid of waste, we get rid of anything that the body, of course, needs to get rid of, and we're able to uptake more nutrients from the food that we take in. And It helps with the mind-body. You hear a lot about mind-body union, mind-body experience. This is one of those techniques that's going to help unify the mind in the body instead of being externalized as myself often am, and most of us just are, because again, we haven't been taught otherwise. So that's it. A simple breathing technique. First step. This is a foundation to some of the stuff we're going to talk about later, because relaxation is important and focusing on the body is important, and this is a technique on how to do those things. And so, major benefit from hara breathing. Give it a try, see what you think, and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Give this a like wherever the like button is. Check out my website. I'm going to put it up here somewhere. wizardsworkshop.com. I spelled it in the Old English because I like it. And there I have, and I'm producing hypnotic audio stories for your benefit, for your health, for your mind, for you to be a better person, because that's my goal for myself. And I'm sharing what I know, I'm sharing what I'm learning, and it's an offering. I hope you enjoy. So please check it out, and I hope to see you again, or I hope you see me again. Either way. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day. Thanks.